Wangari Karaoke of the W.C.N show, and we welcome all our viewers from Kenya and around the world. In this show, we will highlight 3 major trending stories in the world and have an intricate look at one which affects us in Kenya as well. Today we'll have a look at issues in technology, entertainment and sports. Please be a part of the show by joining us via our Twitter and Instagram handles at Wangari Karaoke via the hashtag #ChatWithKari. On to our news stories. The Communications Authority of Kenya has received reports of the re-emergence of Wangiri, an international phone scam. According to a press statement, it is designed to lure phone users into returning urgent calls from unknown international calls. Victims receive very brief calls from unknown international numbers, and when they call back, they are unknowingly directed to premium numbers that drain their airtime. The first report of the scam was registered in January 2018. On to our final story, which is Matter Sports. The Nizhny Novgorod Stadium in Russia is set to host the matches of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. With less than 30 days to go, excitement and last-minute preparations are underway. Russia and Saudi Arabia teams mark the beginning of the highly anticipated 64-match games, which will kick off on Thursday, June 14, 2018. On the ground, I have my correspondent, Rene Oswere, who is going to give us his opinion on the road to the World Cup 2018. Rene, talk to us.
Thank you, Wangari. I am Rene Oswere of W.C.N News, reporting live on Daystar University Nairobi campus. Russia is the world's largest country with a population of more than 140 million. More than half of the population are football fans, or at least watch the sport occasionally. FIFA World Cup 2018 in Russia is a phenomenally powerful magnet and living proof that humanity is yet to invent anything more magical than a seemingly simple ball game. The championship will unite 190 ethnicities around Russia and about 2,000 nationalities around the world. Kenya, however, did not qualify to make it to the World Cup this year. Are we still lacking in adequate resources? Let's find out.
So my name is Charles Mutua. I'm a third year student taking International Relations and Security Studies. And yes, the time is here, the time of World Cup. It's a very nice game that unites the world, where people come together, share their cultures, and at the end of the day, they are brought together by the game. I'm excited because there are players. They are not going to play for the next World Cup, like Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think they'll be appearing in another World Cup. So Messi and the rest are. So I'm feeling, just want to see their effort in the World Cup, whether they're going to win or just not winning. So sometimes I feel bad when my country, Kenya, has not qualified for the same. But we are hopeful because right now, the way things are, I think right now we are having professional players through maybe the chairmanship of Nandwa and the rest. So yeah, the game is here. My support team, I have 2 support teams, but I project that Belgium is going to win, but also support Brazil. The likes of Firmino, the likes of Neymar, Da Silva and the rest. Yeah, looking forward for Brazil to win.
So I'm actually anticipating for the World Cup. It's only a few weeks to it, but then I'm voting for Germany to win the World Cup again. I'm always a German machine supporter. So yeah, and then about Kenya not qualifying, the team is just poor, the preparation is just poor, and the government is doing nothing to see to it that the team qualifies for such a tournament. So yeah, that is just basically what it is.
Thank you, Rene. Let us head on over to our Twitter handle to see what you have to say. Now on Twitter at Winkles Wendy says, I am super excited about the World Cup this year. It is unfortunate that Kenya will not be participating. However, I bet on Germany to take the cup this year. Thank you, Winkles. We have seen what the different views are on the ground, but now we need to talk to a few opinion leaders who will help us understand the situation. First off, we have Kevin Odinga, patron of the Daystar City team, Hassan, a former student of Daystar University, and a huge soccer fan, and Mr. Hesbon Owila, a lecturer at Daystar University and a sports and political analyst at KTN News, who will give us their insight about the World Cup. Welcome.
Well, my opinion on Kenya and World Cup is varied, but I have one poignant post about this simply because I look at Kenya and the preparation process that it has, and it doesn't make any close sense to anyone who is ready to go for the World Cup competition, let alone African Cup of Nations. Look at how we are prepared. Look at our value to players. Do we even value them at first? Do we even have time for these players? Do the players have time for the soccer? Because it's only in Kenya as a nation and state that you simply find a player playing soccer in the morning and going for other kind of jobs in the evening. Now you see, there's no concentration of tactic, tact, and football ingenuity in him, because I play soccer with divided kind of mentality that I'm here and then later I'm going to find something else for me to do. In other words, soccer doesn't pay bills for most of the Kenyan players.
I think the reason why Harambee Stars are not qualified for the World Cup or have never qualified for the World Cup actually is because I think we are lacking in development of sports, especially football, from a youth age, from the levels of 6-year-olds to 10 to 13 to 17, and then moving on to the senior side. A lot of money is spent by FIFA, the goal project, and money to develop soccer from the grassroots, but most of the time the money is is embezzled, and a lot of people have used Football Kenya Federation, the presidency, to go on into politics, and so football is really not considered as a serious sport in Kenya, unfortunately, and people take it for granted. That is the reason why I think with the same pace we are going, it will be very difficult for Kenya to qualify for the World Cup. And because right now, as you can see, the Russia 2018 World Cup is coming, and as for me, my favorite team, I would say, is Germany, who won the World Cup in 2014 in Brazil. The reason why I'm supporting Germany is because my favorite team that I normally support, the Dutch, the Orange, did not qualify for the World Cup. So I just moved next door and I said, let me support Germany, just because I don't like Brazil, Argentina, or those other teams that are pretenders to the throne.
Russia is in itself a big deal because of what Russia has been going through. You remember the doping during the Olympics and all that. And what football does to a nation is that football has this effect of galvanizing a nation. So the issues in Russia, like the political situation right now, they have a president who was initially a president, prime minister, now president again. I think it couldn't have come at a better time for the Russians, that they have something that will now galvanize them. Unfortunately, I don't think they have a good soccer team outside there, and it's kind of interesting that their soccer team may not go further than the second round. Actually, if they get beyond the group stage, it would be a big achievement based on what I've seen with their side. Which team am I going to support at the 2018 World Cup? I mean, it can't be any other team. Germany, and Germany. I mean, my first four choices are Germany, and for the simple reason that one, they have a very solid team, and I think going into tournaments, Germany has established this tradition of a team that knows how to play a knockout tournament. They won the last World Cup. They did fairly well at the Euros 2016. Their qualification was quite good, and then you look at the pool of players that they have. You can just imagine that Leroy Sané is not going to the World Cup. Actually, the team that they are leaving at home can easily compete, favorably at the World Cup. So I don't see any other teams stopping Germany. So I'm gonna root for Germany because it's a good side. Now, besides Germany, I think I will have a soft spot for England because I'm a big fan of the English Premier League. And from Africa, I think Morocco has a very strong side. They are not fancied like Egypt and Senegal, But Morocco has a solid team. If you look at what they've done in the qualifiers, I think they've been very solid in the results that they've gotten. I guess my choice for Germany is also biased. I mean, my PhD is paid by the German taxpayers, and they pay for my PhD and they also give me a stipend. So, I mean, it was no brainer settling for Germany. I'm a Kenyan, and of course, it's like many other Kenyans, I'm concerned that as a country, we've never been close to qualifying for the World Cup. Actually, the closest we ever tried was towards the run-up to the 1998 World Cup, when Reinhard Fabisch almost got Kenya to the 1998 World Cup. I think the euphoria around that time was quite kind of interesting. We were like 3 games away from the World Cup until we went to Germany, trained in Germany, went to Nigeria, and we were beaten thoroughly.
In the next 5 years, where is Kenya going to be in terms of the football spectrum? Well, it's good to be hopeful, and I encourage everyone to be very hopeful about Kenyan system. But let's also be very realistic about what we are facing. If Kenya does not improve the systems, a system including corrupt KFF, which is Kenya Football Federation, and corrupt body of soccer, then I don't also see ourselves going very far. It is only in the recent past that we had that few players could not even manage a ticket to from where they are to Kenya, or if they managed, they paid for their tickets, that is air ticket, to come to Kenya, which was never refunded. A very good example is Dennis Oliach, who had actually in several occasions paid for his own ticket to Kenya and in several games without being refunded for many years. What does that mean? It means that even if we give such a player or such a collection of players time, or even up to 10 years, 100 years, or any other year that we want to give it, it will still be not manageable for them to probably succeed to go for a World Cup competition. Not even not even African Cup of Nations competition.
Still going through our Twitter handle, let's keep talking. Dre says, definitely vouching for Germany this year. I am not a big fan of soccer, but I am looking forward this time. Well, keep the tweets coming. Thank you for your opinions that will definitely enlighten many of us. Well, I guess it is now time to wrap up things here in the studio. Thank you for tuning in today. Until next time, I am your host, Tuangari Kariuki.